main thing is the like terms means they have the same radicand. I mean, they're going to be the same root, which we're doing square root, same radicand. So, number one, if we have 6 square root of 5 plus 8 square root of 5, you treat them just like variables, pretty much. It's going to be 14 square root of 5. You're just adding them, you're just counting them. And then like terms like this one, if I have 8 square root of 6 minus 2 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 6 plus the square root of 3. Well, you got to put, they're all square root, but they've got to have the same radicands. So we'll put like terms together, you know, like x's and y's. So 8 square root of 6 plus 4 square root of 6 would be 12 square root of 6. Now what about your square root of 3's? Now, we talked about this one over here. It's just like if you have x, it's 1x. We'll see there's an understood rational 1 there. See, that's your rational part, that's your irrational. So negative 2 plus 1 would be negative 1 square root of 3, or just negative square root of 3. You can put the 1 there if you want to. You don't have to. Now, we probably didn't do them a little more involved. 6 square root of 8 plus 4 square root of 27 minus 3 square root of 50 plus 7 square root of 12. Now, I'm going to put more steps to this than you probably would. Most people would say you can't do anything to it, but if you think about it, and if you start looking at these, every one of these will break down, like lesson 22. Because 8's factor tree is 2 squared times 2. I'm going to write them over here, and I'm not going to do the whole upside down birthday cake. I'm just going to write them because you can set that up if you need to. 27 is 3 squared times 3. I'm just doing their factor trees. 50 is, do you know that one? 25, it'd be 5 squared times 2. And 12 is 4 times 3, so it'd be 2 squared times 3. Now, you see, you would have to do those factor trees, and that's a nice thing to kind of know there. I don't think I could stretch that much anymore, yeah, to keep it all on the screen. So watch what we're going to do. We're going to have 6, and then I'm going to put that 2 squared times 2 in for the square root of 8. I'm putting that extra step in. See how I'm doing it? Plus 4 times the 27 is the 3 squared times 3. And this is just factor trees. I just didn't go through the birthday cake thing, but it's exactly what we did. And 50 underneath there is going to be 5 squared times 2. And the 12 is going to be 2 squared times 3. Now, this is just like, each one of these is just like lesson 22. The square root of the 2 squared is going to come out as what? What's the square root of 2 squared? Say it again? 2. So I've got 6. Now I'm going to put that 2. I'm going to put 6 times 2 square root of 2. Now you probably, as you do them, would go ahead and put 12 there, but I want you to know where it came from. See, the square root of the 4 comes out as 2. Plus, what's the square root of the 3 squared? 3. Remember, the square root of anything squared is that number. It's a square root of 9 is what it is. And you got a 3 under there. So the square root of the 25 is going to come out as 5. And then 7, and then the square root of that 4 is 2. And you got a 3 under there. So I have 12 square root of 2 plus 12 square root of 3 minus 15 square root of 2 minus 14 square root of 3. Now, which ones can I put together? See, now it's like number 2, except they had to be cleaned up before doing it. That's definitely the algebra 2 step. Positive. Oh, I brought it down as a negative all the way down, didn't I? Thank you. Plus, thank you. So let's put I'm going to put my square root of 2's together first. So I got 12 square root of 2 minus 15 square root of 2. Negative 3 square root of 2. Now, what about my square root of 3's? 26 square root of 3. 4. We'll do one like we did last year in geometry. Let's do 5 square root of 8 times 6 square root of 3. Now, I said to them, you multiply the outsides and you multiply the insides. That's what I said to you last year in geometry. I would say to you now, probably to take it to a little bit algebra 2 level, I would say multiply the rational parts, which is the outside, and multiply the inside, then simplify. So multiply, then simplify. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now, see, square root of 8 would break down now, but if you break it down now, you may have to break it down again. But the outside is going to be a 30, and the inside is going to be a 24. That should be not hard for you. But will 24 break down? Factor tree. I will put its, because I didn't do one here. I just did these fast up here. But you got 2 into 24, 2 into 12, and 2 into 6 goes 3. So I've got a 30 on the outside. I've got a 2 squared times, can I go ahead and put that 6? Is it okay with you if I put the 2 and 3 together here? See, the 2 and 3 that's left over? And so, and you might have skipped this step and gone on to 30. The square root of the 4 is 2. 6 is going to be inside. And then you get 60 square root of 6. So just multiply and then break it down from lesson 22. 5. Okay, I'm going to put 2 square root of 3, open parentheses, 4 square root of 3, minus 5 square root of 6. Now, what do you do when you have something on the outside and you have some adding or subtracting inside? What's it called? We're just going to distribute. You're going to multiply those two together minus those two together. Just good old distribute. So we're just going to do what we did in number 4. What's the outside inside here going to be? These two will give me 8 square root of 9 minus, now do these two, 10 square root of 18. Now, if you couldn't do anything to those, and most of the time I'm going to make you do something, I don't give you the real easy ones where you're through with it right now. I think we need to break both of them down, don't we? Now, that was pretty easy. What's that going to be? Be careful. That's a square root of 9, which is 3. See, 8 times 3, minus, now what do you want to do with 18? Have we done it factor tree yet? 2 into 18 is 9. Oop, slide over just a little bit there. So it's 3 squared times 2. See how 22 really ties into it? So this is 24, and we're going to have a 10 already on the outside. The square root of that 9 is going to come out as 3, and the 2 stays inside. So we've got 24 minus 30 square root of 2. Now, if you go back to rule number 1, adding and subtracting, you can only put those together like x's and y's. I can't put x and y's together. I can't put square root of 2 and no square root of 2's together. For you to be able to put those together, you know, that's like 24 minus 30x. Those are not like terms. You can't put them together. That is your simplified answer. So distribute and then clean it up. 1 is same thing we've done, but it's just with radicals. Let's do open parentheses 3 plus 5 square root of 2. Now you can get into some pretty crazies of these, but I'm sticking fairly simple with them because they can get crazy and put different square roots, like a square root of 2 and a square root of 5 or something. Now how in the world do we multiply 2 things times 2 things? Well, it's still distributing, but don't we have another name for it, and we can call it FOIL? You can call it distribute, or you can call it FOIL. But think about it. You know, if I have x plus 7 times x plus 3, then I've got to do x squared plus 3x plus 7x plus 21. You have to multiply all 4 of those. That click with you? So let's do that. First, that means we got to multiply. The way I say it is I'm going to distribute the 3 to both of those. So I'm going to say 12 minus, now look, you got inside outsides. So you've got 18 square root of 2. See, I'm doing these two. Make sure you see what I'm doing. I said the 3 times 4, and I said the 3 times the negative 6 square root of 2. Now I'm going to do the 5 square root of 2 to both of those. That's my O and my I and my L. 5 square root of 2 times 4 is going to be 20 square root of 2. You got to do outsides and insides. And then you'll have these two, which is going to be 30 square root of 4. Now, if it's a simple one, these will always go together. See now how I've got the like terms? But now this one's probably we need to do something to him. We've got a 12. If you want to go ahead and put those two together, it's plus 20 square root of 2. But what can I do to 30 square root of 4? What is that? That's what I meant to say. But I wrote 20, didn't I? It should be negative 18 plus 2. 20 is 2 square root of 2. So it's 30. I knew what you were trying to say. I just wanted you to say it right. So you've got 30 times 2. Can I go ahead and put 60 right there? I tell you what, if you want to in your notes, now see, look, I said 60 and wrote the wrong thing. If you want to, right above it, 30 times 2 and put the 60 so you know where it came from. Let's just draw an arrow right there. Now do you see any like terms? 12 minus 60, which is negative 48. Plus 2 square root of 2. Now, you can commute that if you want to.